Just how wild can Indian flight attendants get? They actually melted down gold bars into liquid and poured them into spherical molds once the gold hardened. It turned into perfect golden eggs to avoid raising suspicion at airport security. They covered the golden eggs in chocolate sauce, then wrapped them in foil to make them look like ordinary chocolates. Once everything was ready, they confidently walked into the airport, pulling suitcases full of fake sweets. Since all three were familiar faces to the security staff, no one bothered to inspect them closely, and they passed through without issue. They boarded the plane thinking their plan was flawless, but as soon as they landed, they saw security checking every passenger closely. One of the women quickly swallowed a blood pressure pill, trying to stay calm. Luckily, the guards didn't find anything suspicious, and they reached the hotel for the deal. The buyer confirmed the gold was real, and immediately paid a staggering $100 million with such an easy score. They started planning an even bigger job, but the next time at security, something unexpected happened. The guards suddenly stopped them, and panic set in. If they got caught, they'd be in prison for life. But just as one of the guards was about to open a suitcase, Zhao Mei, who was dating the head of security, showed up to intervene. Though she already suspected what was inside, she couldn't risk her job, so she waved them through again. They boarded the plane, barely escaping trouble, but then one of them had a realization. Maybe the whole thing was a setup by the buyer Sang Biao to create a distraction and smuggle gold through another route without getting caught. Unwilling to let him get away with it, they quickly came up with a new plan, pretending to be flight attendants. They sneaked onto Sang Biao's private jet and slipped sleeping drugs into drinks one by one. They handed them out to all the passengers. Once Sang Biao drank his, he quickly dozed off after confirming everyone was unconscious. They rushed to open the suitcase and were stunned to find 10 tons of solid gold, overwhelmed with excitement. They grabbed as much as they could and made their escape. By the time Sang Biao woke up, he was tied to his seat, and before he could even process what happened, a swarm of FBI agents stormed the plane. Thankfully, Zhao Mei had predicted this and left behind one suitcase of gold on purpose, which made it impossible for Sang Biao to explain anything as he was arrested on the spot, still in total shock, while the women had already vanished into the distance, living the rest of their lives in freedom and luxury.